Hey, what's up guys? Before I start this video, I just wanted to mention real quick that all of the gameplay in this video was gotten straight from twitch.tv/usecodebay. Before this gameplay was on the channel, I streamed it live on my Twitch stream. I'm streaming live right now as you guys are watching this video. After you watch this video, please be sure to come down to my stream and watch me play some games. I'm going to be playing lots of competitive gameplay, champion level arena duos, pro scrims, and I will also be playing with subscribers sometimes and viewers who are watching my Twitch stream. So please be sure to come tune in and let's get right into this video. So if you guys are watching this video, you're watching it to learn how to WKey or how to dominate your opponents in arena, in events, and also in tournaments and important things where getting those eliminations is incredibly important. A lot of players like FaZe Sway and Furious RR are incredible players who absolutely WKey every single game and they dominate their opponents. They have gotten the win in the first place in the Daily Duos Cup the last 5 days that it has happened, and they have still not lost. And the day that I upload this video, we'll see if they will lose or not. All the way up to the day this is uploaded, they've won every single Daily Duos Cup, and that is because they WKey every single game. These players push every opponent, they get high kill games while also being able to get victory royales, consistent placements, and just overall very consistent gameplay with very high kills every single game. So the first step to being a very good WKeyer that's also consistent is having one of the main weapons. One of these main weapons can be the Sky's AR, the drum gun, the minigun that comes with the Brutus, or one of these spray type weapons that is basically rare. Having these can make it very easy for you to WKey because they have very high damage outputs, very high fire rates, and they're overall incredible weapons to have on you because they throw people off and they make you the aggressor. When you WKey people, you don't want them pushing you. You want to be the one that's always pushing them. So in order to do this, one of the best ways to guarantee that you're always the aggressor and you're the one in charge, having these weapons helps you not only kill them faster, but also assert your dominance before the fight even begins. Now, as you can see in this game, I landed the agency, and one of the first things I did was I went ahead and I got the drum gun. By getting the drum gun, I was able to basically have the advantage against many opponents that I fought, but as you can see in this fight that just happened right here, I didn't necessarily just race or rush to use the drum gun. This is because you have to be able to choose your fights intelligently, and you have to be able to know what weapons are best at what distances and in what situations. Switching to the drum gun or switching to the most powerful weapon in your slot isn't always the best thing. For example, if I have a drum gun, I'm not always just going to be spraying with the drum gun. I'm going to try to hit a pump shot first and then switch over to the drum gun to finish the opponent off. The reason for this is because you might be able to finish off the opponent with the first shot and you won't even have to bother with shooting at them with the drum gun. And this should always be your main focus. The main thing that you should always focus on in every single game is going ahead and finishing the fight with that first shot that you take with the shotgun. The reason is that when you do this, you go ahead and you make it so that your first shot has a higher chance of finishing the fight, and that increases the chances of you winning every single fight more consistently because you no longer have to worry about dying to opponents because you're taking longer to eliminate them. Now, of course, the drum gun has an amazing time to kill, being one of the most OP weapons in the game. You can absolutely shred opponents with it, and you don't really even have to worry about taking damage because the fact that it just ends people so quickly. It does 50 damage to the head, and as long as you're hitting those headshots consistently and you're not missing your body shots, it's very easy to dominate opponents. So I definitely recommend using the drum gun. Sky's AR is also another amazing one because of the fact that it's great for long range and close range due to its fast fire rate, making it a very good weapon for WKeying and basically just getting a ton of kills. Now, the second part to this is basically knowing where people are going to be. And you want to do what we basically used to do back in the older seasons where we would go for 20 bombs and solo squads, and you want to kind of know the rotations that players are going to have based on the bus route. So before the game starts, take a look at where the bus is going and just look at all the hotspots and all of the little less known spots that are supposed to be a little bit colder, but places where you know that opponents are going to be landing at in these arena type events or basically these tournaments, where places like bricks or places that aren't necessarily marked but are hot because many people like to go there. Keep those in mind and kind of try to guess their rotations and where those players are going to be going while you're rotating in the mid game. This is the easiest way to find opponents during the mid game, and by finding opponents and WKeying them in the mid game, you'll be able to basically dominate people by the time you get to the end game, and you'll be able to get those easy eliminations and those free WKey type kills that you need in order to get these high kill games. Now, the other thing is that, of course, WKeying can be done like this, but you also want to be able to get to the end game, and you want to be able to get to the end game consistently, and you want to be able to not die every single time that you push people by getting into bad situations. Here you see me get into a bad situation where this opponent goes ahead and takes off a lot of my damage. So although I didn't need to necessarily use the fish because I wasn't all the way down to 50 or even below that, but I went ahead and used it because it's a very quick and easy thing that you can use whenever you need to in fights, because the fact that it is used very quickly and it will give you a lot of health back almost instantly. And just like that, you see me get my health back quickly and I'm right back into the fight. Making smart decisions like this in these types of scenarios are the difference between losing and dominating and destroying people during the mid game, where these mid game fights are very likely to happen. And also you see me here start to choke a little bit, but although I'm choking, I'm still kind of keeping my body in a position where it won't easily be shot at. And as soon as I see this guy start to get third partied, I take advantage of this situation and I start to push him with the drum gun. This is a good example of when the drum gun is a good time to just start using it, and that was basically me just spraying and trying to get into his box so that I could WKey him and just jump right in and start spraying him in a way that will freak him out. When you're in someone's box with the drum gun, because of the way that it shreds through materials, it is an amazing tool to use when WKeying. It also does lots of damage output to the body and the head with a very low time to kill, making it an excellent weapon for jumping into boxes and WKeying. Now the next step has a lot to do with the end game, and this is where the majority of kills will be coming from, whether or not you're someone who wants to WKey. The end game, everyone is close to each other and everyone is kind of freaking out a little bit, which makes them very easy to eliminate. And because of the close proximity of all the players in the lobby, it makes it extremely easy for you to basically be able to just clean up kills and get a lot of free kills on opponents that don't really suspect it. And because of this, the endgame is an amazing opportunity for you guys to pick up free kills. And as you guys can see in this game, I go ahead and I start to push people a lot more often, and I basically start to look for these opportunities to get eliminations in the endgame. The endgame is very good for taking advantage of all the crazy stuff that's going on, and it's also one of the best times in the entire game to get kills, because the fact that every single kill that you get is going to replenish your materials, it's going to give you more weapons to work with, and it's going to give you different types of heals that you'll need while you're playing. Because of the fact that all the players in the lobby will be stacked in this endgame, every single elimination that you get will have a very high reward, besides compared to the eliminations that you would be getting in the early game. Because in the early game, most of what you'll be getting is some basic weapons and maybe some materials. Obviously, you're going to be getting the 150 and maybe a few extra ones just from whatever they farmed up in the early game. But the end game, you'll be getting almost max materials for every single kill, lots of loot, healable items, very rare weapons most of the time, and basically a lot of items that you'll need in order to succeed. And basically taking advantage of all these third-party situations and all the randomness that comes in the end game will make it an absolutely important time for you to get kills. One of the biggest mistakes that I see is people tend to not go for eliminations in the end game, and the only thing they focus on is placement and survival. And when you make the mistake of doing this, what you're basically doing is you're not taking advantage of the opportunity to get all the eliminations that you have right in front of you. And this is a very common mistake that many people make. So I suggest, if you want to become better at WKeying and you want to be more aggressive and get more kills, start pushing people in the end game where none of them are really expecting you to be pushing them. This is the best opportunity for you to do so, and I definitely recommend using it to get as many kills as you can while WKeying. You also want to maintain the high ground when you're going for these WKey plays, because high ground will keep you safe when you're getting third-partied, and it will serve you a lot of justice in different scenarios, especially in the endgame where everything is crazy. The high ground layer is the best layer to be on, and it will serve you guys the best. And as you guys can see, this game ended up being a 13 kill win where I WKeyed a lot of people. Before this game on on the exact same day, I also got a 16 kill WKey, and it was very similar to this one in that I was using the drum gun and I also had the grappler. And yeah guys, that was it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.